I've always really enjoyed cooking. My dad cooked a lot growing up, and so I always loved helping him and kind of learning through that. And I really wanted to work in an industry where I was constantly being challenged and I could never fully learn enough. And I really like the idea of just always learning. And that's something that food really takes in because you never get to the end of the book, basically. And I've always been kind of a creative person, so the fact that I can use my creativity and be able to have it affect other people's lives, not just my own, I really like that idea. And just kind of messing around with different ingredients is really fun, and I really enjoy being able to taste everything and seeing the different ways you can alter different ingredients. I have my bachelor's degree in business, and I did real estate for a little while. I've been in a bunch of different industries, and I wanted to just get started on something instead of going through the process that I've done before, where I go through the school and then I don't have experience, and it's really hard to get a job without experience, and it's kind of just a back and forth for a long time. So when I basically was just researching apprenticeship programs and extern programs because I love the idea of learning hands-on, especially with something like food, where it's really important that you're physically touching and tasting and smelling all of your ingredients, and that's really how you learn how to use everything. And CASA, just like the mission statement and everything with CASA just really spoke to me, and I totally agreed with their outlook on how you should learn how to work in this industry. So when I found it, and the fact that while you're learning online with all of your tests and quizzes and everything, you're in a restaurant at the same time. So you can use your tools that you're learning online with the restaurant. I always kept a little notebook on the side. I would write down all my questions and bring it into the restaurant, and those are the most important people to ask those questions. So it was really beneficial to have something where I was in a restaurant while learning. So I started working at Scratch before everything closed, and I was doing all of the prep work with that staff. Then we closed, and I noticed on social media that they started doing takeout menu. So I contacted Gavin and I asked him if I could come back and help out with the takeout menu. And he said, of course, come in tomorrow and we'll get you started on something. So I went back, and it was a little crazy. They were trying to figure out how they were going to make it all work and do the takeout menu, and it was actually extremely busy. So they had me working my full hours, which was amazing, and I did a lot of prep work. And then when they came up with the concept for Pasta Bar, I was put with that team, and they just basically gave me a list of things to do, which was anything from picking herbs to cutting and doing a bunch of knife work, and then doing a lot of extra stuff that they needed done. And they really involved me and made me part of the team instead of just someone on the side. And once they decided to open the restaurant, they had me really involved with service. And then once I kind of got to the point, I was talking to the chef that I was almost done with my hours. He basically told me that he thinks I've been very beneficial to the process of them opening, and that they wanted me to stay and take me on as a cook. I think what happened was, because I worked with them from the very beginning, I understood the concept of how the restaurant was run, and it's definitely easier to have someone that already knows the whole concept than train someone from the very beginning. So they just took me on as a cook, and I was really, really lucky to be able to be in that position. So it's a tasting menu. I control the first couple courses, so all of the cold dishes are my responsibility, which is amazing. I get to create a whole course on my own, and they have taught me a lot, and we've already changed the menu a couple of times, and so I've learned how to create a lot of different dishes. And they're also allowing me to take more responsibility with the actual pasta making, so I'm a lot more involved in the whole menu instead of just the appetizer courses. And it's been a really, really good experience. I love the team that I work with. I'm learning more and more every single day, and I've been doing a lot of cooking at home to kind of push my skills further. And I've really noticed that in a very short amount of time, I've learned a lot and my skills have increased dramatically, which has been really nice.